found the biggest scorpion. I think we gotta do a sting test. Here we go, buddy, come here. Oh, don't wanna take a sting yet. Here, I gotta corner him, Here we go. All right, here we go, ready? I got him. You guys see a shot? Got it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can pinch really good. He's pinching me. When they pinch you, your first instinct is to let go of that tail, and that's exactly what the scorpion wants. So it can wield that stinger and inflict a painful punch. Ooh, but you just gotta fight through it. Eventually he'll relax and realize he's been caught. But look at the size of that scorpion. That is one serious arachnid. Let's see just how painful the giant hairy scorpion really is. Oh boy, would you take a look at that. Look at the size of that scorpion. And it is time for another sting test, this time with America's largest scorpion, the giant desert hairy. Now, we found the scorpion just feet away, right here at our Airbnb in Tucson, Arizona. In fact, check this out. We have a live studio audience today. Try to keep it down, guys. The giant desert hairy scorpion earns its name because it is truly giant. Most scorpions out here are a fraction of the size of this one. This is a truly huge arachnid with a stinger that is also giant. And this is a species that you would come across. If you lived in Arizona or you're out here adventuring, this is certainly an animal that can end up inside your house. I want to take a sting today to show you just how severe the sting from this scorpion truly is. And then we will know once and for all whether or not we need to be afraid of this hairy arachnid. We're also going to rank this sting on 3 factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath, scoring each from 1 to 10, and then we will average the total to see where this scorpion rates on the brand new and official Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Boy, it is fired up and aggressive already. Holy cow, look at those pinchers. This scorpion is big enough to actually give you a sizable pinch, so when I first pick it up today, I'm gonna get walloped right off the bat. Now, before I get stung, let's talk about some of the things I brought with me for the test today. I brought with me some Sting Kill. I have never used Sting Kill on any of my sting tests before, so I thought, hey, it's in my pack, let's give it a shot with today's scorpion sting to see if this sting antidote actually relieves the pain from a scorpion. And then, of course, I always bring with me my first aid kit along with my EpiPen. Just in case I have some sort of severe allergic reaction to this venom, the EpiPen will save me in time to get to emergency services. So I always carry an EpiPen. Never attempt to do what I'm about to do. This is not a good idea. Yes, I think this is going to hurt very badly. Please do not attempt to do what you're about to see. I am definitely nervous. I am always nervous before I take a sting from a species for the first time, because until you take the venom firsthand, you never really know how bad it's going to be. So with that, I think it's time to get hands-on and release the beast. You guys ready? Got the shot? Okay. Careful. Whoa. Now I have to grab the scorpion without taking a sting. Man, it's fast. I'm gonna use this platform to help keep it on the table. All right, so the object here is to not get stung before I'm ready, but in order to tail the scorpion, I need to grab a segment right behind the telson, which is the stinger. And this is a one-shot deal. You do this wrong, you are getting stung almost instantly. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got him. And then he's gonna try to pinch me. Those big pinchers. Yeah, he's got his pincher on me there. Right under my skin. Now, I have a good grip, and we can talk about how the scorpion feels. Its exoskeleton is very rigid and hard, almost as hard and tough as a crab or a lobster. So I am by no means gonna squish or hurt the scorpion by holding it like this. And yes, those pinchers can give you a wallop of a pinch. Yeah. One more time for good measure. Now, another kind of interesting thing is the face of this scorpion. You can see it has some eyes right here at the sides, and it has eyes right there in the center, similar to a spider. It gets its name, the giant desert hairy, not only because it's giant in size, but because it's also hairy. You can see the hairs off of all the appendages, and you can really see the hairs coming off the tip of the stinger there. You see that? And those hairs help the scorpion sense its environment. This is an arachnid, having 8 legs, related to spiders, but of course it has a much different defense mechanism than a spider. Spiders use fangs to inject venom. Scorpions inject venom with the stinger on their tail. Okay, I think it's time to talk about the business end of the scorpion. The sting of the giant desert hairy is delivered by the tip of the stinger, the telson, which has a venom gland within it that delivers its venom like a hypodermic needle. And this animal uses its sting as a means of defense and predation. This scorpion will be out hunting at night. Once it finds a prey item, which would be other small insects, arachnids, or even a small lizard, it would grapple it with those large pinchers and then inflict a painful sting, subduing its prey so they could be eaten alive. But in this sting test, it will be using its stinger as a defense mechanism against my hand, just like any would-be predator. Okay, it's time to go hand to stinger with America's largest species of scorpion. You guys ready?
We're ready, Mark.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to cover the scorpion with my hand, my left hand, and I'm going to release the stinger. When I do that, this scorpion is going to instantly go into defense mode and rapidly sting me with that tail. And I can tell you right now, this scorpion is fired up. It is ready to go. It's pinched me multiple times, and it means business. You guys ready for this? I'm looking at the tip of that stinger right now. On 3. 1, 2, 3. He's pinching me. Oh my God, the venom spray, did you see that? It's stuck there. I had to pull the stinger out, it was stuck under my skin, and I got sprayed by venom. Did you guys see that pool of venom? Oh my gosh. All right, here, I gotta put this back. Oh yeah, that was a full burst. I definitely got dosed, and it burns. You see it's already starting to get red around my knuckle. It's starting to burn really bad. Hang on. Oh yeah. I cannot believe how much venom just sprayed out of the tail like that. I didn't know it could spray, and it does burn. Holy smokes. Yeah, this whole area is a little inferno right there, all around my knuckle. Man, that is so much different than I expected it to be. I expected the stinger to just pop, like whap me. It like scooped up underneath my skin, and I had to literally pull the stinger out. Oh man, that burns. Yeah, that burns real good. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and you can see that I'm definitely getting some swelling going. We're gonna continue to monitor this sting, but now it's time to officially rank this sting. For an intimidation factor, seeing that huge tail jab me over and over and all that venom spraying out was super intimidating, so I give it an 8 out of 10. The pain was somewhere between a hornet and a bee sting. I'd rate it a 4 out of 10. For the aftermath, it wasn't so bad. The pain afterwards is very manageable, especially after applying some sting kill, so I give it only a 3 out of 10. Combined, this scorpion rates it a 4.3 on the brand new official Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. That is easily the gnarliest sting I have ever taken in terms of seeing the stinger go in and get stuck. I've never had to pull a stinger out like that before. That was wild. But in terms of should we be afraid of this animal, I don't think we should be any more afraid of the giant desert hairy scorpion than we are of your common bee or wasp. Holy crap, are you guys rolling? Look at this. That is a cow killer. We literally were out here filming me getting stung by a giant desert hairy scorpion, and we were taking a break, and I came over to this pasture and I saw this cow killer scurrying around. Oh, they're fast. They're super fast. Got it. Woo! All right, I think it's my turn to go arm to stinger with one of the most painful stinging insects on the planet, the cow killer of Arizona. Let's go, guys. The cow killer is what the velvet ant is called in the United States because they are often found in cow pastures, and their sting is said to be so horrible that it's painful enough to kill a cow. We don't even have to set up the sting table. It's already set up. Luckily, the sting of that giant desert hairy scorpion wasn't that bad. Oh my God, the venom spray, did you see that? Oh. So, I'm gonna be able to hopefully endure one more before we head home. This is the insect responsible for our most famous viral video ever, with over 83 million views. But I haven't yet taken the sting from this one.
Okay, let me get back here.
You all right? And not only am I going to attempt this sting test, but I will also be putting the most famous sting in Brave Wilderness history on our brand new and improved Bite Sting Index, where I will rank this sting on intimidation, pain, and aftermath, ranking each from 1 to 10, and then taking the average score to see where the cow killer falls on the official Brave Wilderness BSI. So the first impressions of this cow killer, which is a velvet ant, is that it looks a lot different than the cow killer that stung coyote years ago. It has the exact same patterning and fur, but instead of a red abdomen, it has almost like a burnt orange coloration. And that's the cool thing about velvet ants. They come in a variety of shapes, patterns, and colors. And velvet ant species can be found all over the Americas, but I happen to think the ones here in the southwestern United States are some of the coolest looking of all the species. It's called a velvet ant, but it's not a species of ant at all. In fact, it is a wingless wasp. The males of this species actually have wings and fly around, but they don't have stingers. Only the female velvet ants have stingers, so we know because this one doesn't have wings, it's definitely gonna be able to give me a sting. Now, I have been stung by another species of velvet ant before, the panda ant, where I was the first person to ever document being stung by this species down in Chile. Ah! Ooh, yeah, okay. Definitely took a really good sting and a bite. Ah, I saw a lot of the comments. People were asking, hey, how does that stack up to the velvet ant in Arizona? And I didn't know because I've never been stung by one. Well, I'm about to find out, and so are all of you. Oh man, the reality of this just set in. I have the sting kill out. I will treat this sting with the sting kill as well. This is not a paid ad. This is just something I'm curious about. Of course, I've got an EpiPen just in case I have any kind of crazy allergic reactions. This is a first aid device that will help me get to emergency medical attention should I need it. Hopefully this is just a lot of pain and we don't have to go down that route. And with that, let's get a look at the stinger of this insect. So this is always the tricky part, getting a grip. And they're called the indestructible insect because their exoskeleton, their body, is so strong. It is way stronger than most insects. So I'm not gonna be able to crush it or hurt it whatsoever. Oh, you guys hear that? I already heard something that I was curious about. These insects have the ability to actually emit a squeak that's called stridulation. It's a warning distress signal, an alarm siren, if you will. And this one, I just heard it. Hear that? You guys hear it? Get your cameras close. You'll be able to hear it. Not quite as noisy as the panda ant, but you can definitely hear it. But don't worry, I'm not hurting this insect at all. Now the stinger, look at how long it is. Oh my gosh, look at that stinger. The stinger of the cow killer is one of the longest stingers of all insects. In fact, to the body size ratio, it has the longest stinger of any stinging insect on the planet. Wow. And because this one is bigger, that stinger is much larger than the panda ant I was stung by in Chile. Wow, that stinger is seriously large. Okay, I think it is time to test out the sting of this fuzzy little insect. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to attempt to let the cow killer sting me on its own. In order to do that, we're gonna put it back in the container and I'm going to just place it right on the usual spot. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, I can feel the fuzz. Oh, abdomen's like right against my skin. This is nerve-wracking. I can see the cow killers trying to get out of the glass. Just as I thought, not gonna sting on its own. Here we go, I'm gonna flip it over. Woo! All right, hang on. Whew. That'll get your nerves going. Whew. Okay. All right, so you don't really need to worry about taking a sting from this insect unless you really antagonize it by trying to grab it or hold it with a pair of forceps and let it sting you that way, which is what I'm about to do next, because I'm very curious how it stacks up to the velvet ants of South America. Moment's setting in that I'm actually gonna take a sting. All right, let's get a good grip. Just gonna get it right on the back there. There you go. Okay, it's getting warm. She's getting fired up. You can see where I had the glass placed earlier to prove that she wasn't gonna sting me on her own, but she's definitely gonna sting me now. That stinger is firing. You guys got your shot? I'm gonna do it right in the center of that sting zone. All right, I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the velvet ant, the cow killer of the Southwest. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah, she's biting me. Nothing yet. I got that stinger. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Oh. Whoa. Way. Oh. Yeah. Stinger's in. Wow. Yeah, that is way worse than the Panda Ant. Way worse.
What's it feel like, Mark?
Oh, it burns. It really burns. Here, I'm gonna put her back. Yeah, that burns. That definitely burns. She nailed me right there. See that? See that red spot? Oh man, that is gonna swell. That is searing pain. Way worse than the Panda Ant. Like times 10 worse. That is a for real sting. Holy moly. Yeah, that's one of the better ones I've taken. It is, hang on. Wow, I got hit 3 times. 1, 2, 3, the worst one being right there in the middle. And I felt that stinger go all the way in. I mean, probably like at least a 1/4 inch underneath the skin. You can see that there's a little bit of a blood spot, a little bit of redness there from like some hemorrhaging underneath the skin, but you can really see the blotchiness starting to go. I can already tell you right now, the swelling from this tomorrow is going to be so much worse than it is right now, but right now I'm feeling the effects of the venom, the pain, and it is time for me, I think, to get a little bit of sting kill on this sting. Let's go. Hopefully help cool down the burn I'm feeling on my skin. Oh yeah, that's like a dull pain. Cool relief though. Yeah, this sting is way more powerful than the Panda Ant. I don't know if it's a size thing or if it's just generally the Southwest velvet ants, the cow killers, are just that much more painful, but that was a wallop. I'm glad to have a little something to help put out the burn from that pain. I can tell you right now though, tomorrow is gonna be the worst day of this. We're gonna have to monitor this thing for the next 24 to 48 hours. I am by no means out of the woods. And now it's time to break down this sting and give the cow killer its official ranking on the Bite Sting Index. For intimidation, I give the cow killer a 7.5 out of 10. Even though they are fuzzy and colorful, once you see that stinger all the way out, all bets are off and you know it means business. As for pain, I was super shocked by this one because I thought it would be at least similar to the panda ant. I was definitely wrong. It was many times worse, so I give it an 8 out of 10. Lastly, the aftermath. The swelling and the pain spiked big time in the hours following the sting and well into the next day. While it is by no means a bullet ant, it definitely hurts for a good long while, and I would say the aftermath is much worse than the sting itself, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. That total score gives the cow killer an official BSI rating of an 8. That is the highest ranking so far, and a lot of bang pow for such a tiny creature. No one has ever documented the vicious sting of the panda ant until today. It's biting me. Ant stinging me. After traveling a very long way, we have finally made it to the Valley of the Panda. And no, I'm not talking about panda bears. I'm talking about the famous Panda Ant. The photos of the Panda Ant alone have gone super viral, but there is no video footage of this species. So we have come all the way to eastern Chile in hopes of finally capturing the Panda Ant on video. The only problem is the Panda Ant is one of the rarest insects on the planet. This is gonna be like looking for a fuzzy needle in a giant wilderness haystack. It's time to get searching. Now, one thing we've realized about making content on the Brave Wilderness channel is how difficult it is to really portray the challenge in finding some of these animals. So today we're going to keep track of our steps in order to demonstrate just how far we had to go to find this rare and elusive creature. Now, this won't be your average hike. Only a few panda ants have been found in the wild. So we're going to have to search this entire mountain range to even have a chance at finding one. Okay, this looks promising. This open area has a lot of sandy, loose material, which is perfect for the panda ant because it likes to make burrows, and it also allows us to cover a lot of ground fast. Covering ground. That is the name of the game when you're looking for very, very small creatures. The more ground your eyes can scan, the more likely it is you'll find what you're looking for. It is very dry, very hot, and we have seen almost no signs of life. But the search continues. Let's try to flip some rocks to see if we can find one hiding underneath. Nope, nothing under that rock. Finding one of these ants is going to be tricky. Sometimes in this desert heat, flipping rocks is the best way to find creatures trying to escape the sun. Come on, you little panda. Where's that panda ant at? Whoa, got something here. Well, we got a scorpion. A lot of looking for these panda ants, but they are elusive as any insect I've ever looked for. But that scorpion's pretty cool. That'll definitely give you a good sting. Constantly scanning the ground. Look at this. It's just a little reminder of how harsh the desert could be. Starting to feel a little fried out here. You know, we are in the right place. It just feels perfect. I just don't see any movement at all. This is like rarer than a real panda. It's getting hard. It's dry as a bone. Gotta conserve our water though. Gotta be able to last all day. Right, finding moisture is going to be key, which is no easy task in the desert. Oh. We're hearing water down below. In the desert, water is life. Let's try our luck in a different environment. Found the water. It looks so good. If you were ever stuck out here in the desert, this water would be absolutely life-saving and perfectly fine to drink running this fast. A little bouldering. Just seeing water is a boost of energy. Oh, that feels so good. It's good that we're seeing these flowers. Panda ants feed on a diet predominantly of nectar, so these flowers, good indication we have a food source. There's definitely more life down by this river. Finally feels like we're starting to close in on the panda ant. Seeing these smaller wasps, that makes me feel really positive. I think the trail is heating up. I'm starting to see yellow jackets. Good sign for us right now. This is the insect watering hole. Oh, look at that one. See that one that's chasing the others off? It's got like a panda-like abdomen. You seeing this? You seeing this? The male panda ants have wings. Holy cow, we are close. Oh, whoa. That is some kind of mud dabber wasp. Let's see if we can get it in the jar. Got it. Okay. All right, that is definitely some species of mud dabber wasp. Kind of looks like a warrior wasp. Probably has a decent sting, but this is a very good sign. And hopefully if we keep looking, the panda ant will materialize. But just as things were starting to look promising, the searing midday heat set in, causing all signs of life to vanish. Unfortunately for us, insects will also avoid the hottest parts of the day just like any other animal. All right, it is just blazingly hot, and we're just getting all the moisture absorbed from our bodies. If we keep operating in this heat, we're gonna run out of drinking water. So we're gonna have to find some shade. It's getting too intense out here. Oh, whoa. Look at all these. Just got to this trail and there are all these burrows. I can't say whether or not these are definitively panda ant burrows, but they're the right size and right shape and in the right place. Finally feels like we're starting to close in on the panda ant. Panda ant right there. Oh! Woo! We got one! Holy! Oh! We were literally just about to give up. It's not a big one, but that is a panda ant, baby! Let's go! Yes! Ah! Got one. But our luck wouldn't end there. As we prepped our presentation and captured the first ever video of this fuzzy little panda, we spotted another black and white insect scurrying across the ground. Got another one. Hold on, hold on. Get in there, get in there. Go. They're so fast. So fast. This one's kind of small. I don't want to get stung. Not yet, anyway. Yes, 2 panda ants. Holy cow. And this one really looks like a panda. Wow. Not 1, but 2 panda ants. Let's see how many steps. I'm gonna put our ants down. 19,857 steps. And at the last minute, this is such a rare opportunity to film this world famous creature. There is almost no footage of this species. In fact, this is likely the first 4K footage the world has seen of the panda ant, the world's smallest panda. The first thing I noticed about these creatures were their size. They are teeny tiny. Look at the little capsules that we had to bring with us for this presentation. But not only are they small, they are fast. I cannot believe we actually were able to get them into the containers. It's not likely that we're gonna be able to get very much B-roll of them walking around. All it would take is a small little hole or crack in the ground and they are poof, gone. They got their name, the panda ant, because of that black and white fuzzy exoskeleton, which of course I keep calling them an ant, but they are not an ant at all. They are a species of wasp. And the wingless ones are actually females. The males of this species have wings, but the females do not possess wings. But what they do possess is the largest stinger to body size ratio of any insect in the world. They're related to the cow killer found in the southern United States, another species famous for its massive stinger and painful sting. Both have fuzzy exoskeletons and are classified as velvet ants. However, unlike the cow killer, the effects of the panda ant venom are completely unknown. And with that, it's time to take a closer look at their defense mechanisms. They don't just look like pandas for our amusement. They've developed this coloration to ward off predators to say, hey, I pack a punch, I have a lot of defenses, and you will regret it. Now let's talk about another defense mechanism. Let's bring the microphone in there real close. You hear that? That's called stridulation, which is a high frequency warning pitch that these insects are able to emit. And we're not just boosting the sound. This insect's actually noisy. I can hear it. Look at that. Swinging the abdomen already. Might get to see an appearance of that. Oh, that stinger's coming out. Compared to body size, that is a super long stinger. It will have no problem popping a stinger through my skin. Now remember when I said earlier, this is probably the first 4K footage of a panda ant. Let me also tell you, this is about to be the first ever documented sting of this species. No one has taken the sting of the panda ant. Going into the sting zone with the panda ant is truly the great unknown. I have no idea what kind of reaction I'm going to have, so we brought a couple of emergency remedies. Of course, our satellite phone. If I go into any kind of anaphylactic shock, we will use this for emergency distress calls. In addition to that, I always bring a first aid trauma kit. And in this trauma kit, I always have an EpiPen. That's pretty much our only remedies if this sting gets really bad. For the first time ever, it's time to go flesh the stinger with the panda ant. That stinger is flying. That is a very big stinger. I would say the stinger is the entire length of the lower abdomen. All right, it is time. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the panda ant. Here we go to the great unknown of the world of stings. 1, 2, 3. Yep, stinger's in. Stinger's in. Oh, I dropped her. Where'd she go?
Oh, it's here.
Definitely stung me.
Maybe over the wall.
Yeah, let me see. They're so fast. And they blend in perfectly where she can't have gone far. Look around.
Here, I'm gonna look over here.
All right, yeah. Keep looking, keep looking. Oh no! Oh! Well, unfortunately, I dropped the ant. She definitely gave me a sting before hightailing it out of here. We've got 2 distinct sting marks. I would say it's probably similar to that of a hornet, but luckily for us, we have one more ant. In fact, this is the one that looks most like a panda. So, it's time to see if the world's smallest panda packs a potent punch. Gotta get a good grip. I know it looks easy, but it is so hard to get a good grip on these tiny little panda ants. There we go. Okay, stinger's going. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yeah, okay. Definitely took a really good sting and a bite. See this panda's jaws locked into me? I think this panda ant's bite is worse than its sting. Definitely getting little micro stings. This tiny panda ant just might not be big enough to deliver a full punch. Okay. Well, you can see here, I got 2 really good stings from the ant that got away. And then I probably have, I don't know, like a dozen little micro stings. I left it there for a while, but there was 1 or 2 really good ones. Oh my God, there it is. Got it. We just found the first panda ant. Wow, I cannot believe it. What am I supposed to do with you? You ran away, and now you're back. Should we try to get like another wallop? All right, well, gonna go for another sting. I don't know if I got a full one that first time around. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, got me. It's biting me. Ant stinging me. Got a good one there. Okay, yeah, all right. Really not a remarkable sting, even though we're getting a lot of redness and little micro swelling around those sting sites. This might have been the world's cutest sting. The sting of the tiny panda ant is no match for its growl. All right, let's let this little panda back into the wild. While the pain was manageable right after the sting, the secondary reaction roared back the next day. where I had redness, swelling, and a relentless itch. So while the panda ant might be cute, the sting of this tiny insect should definitely be avoided. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to take a sting from the most aggressive ant on the planet. This nest here in front of me is home to the Australian Bulldog Ant that can both bite and sting, and I'm about to find out just how much damage it can do. I'm going to attempt to use this little stick to try to get a Bulldog Ant for our sting test. All right, got our forceps, small container. Now we just need the Bulldog Ant itself. I'm going to lightly disturb the entryway. Oh, here we go, got him already. That makes me nervous. The ants are starting to swarm. You see how big they are? This is like a volcano of ants. Oh gosh, almost got me. They're getting on me. All right, I'm gonna have to get our ant fast. Here we go. I got him. Yes. Oh man. Oh. There we go. We've got one. That is a really good sized Bulldog Ant. It's starting to swarm a little too much to hang out here. Let's go reposition away from the nest so we can get a closer look at one of the scariest ants in the world. Australians fear these massive ants because they attack in swarms and without warning. If you accidentally disturb them, you can be covered in just a matter of seconds. Bulldog ants can be found all over Australia and often build nests in people's yards and local parks, which is exactly where we discovered these ants. This particular species is one of the largest, growing to over 1 inch in length. And of course, for this sting test, we wanted the big dogs, so we can compare how they rank against the legendary bullet ants of South and Central America. Now it's time to find out which is worse. All right, guys, it is officially go time with the Bulldog Ant. Look at the size of this insect. Size-wise, I would definitely say it gives the bullet ant a run for its money, but appearance, this ant is second to none when it comes to intimidation factor. But before I test the might of this insect, let's get it out of the container and take an even closer look at those jaws and its stinger. All right, here we go. Oh, it's already jumping out. I want to be very careful right now. And they are so aggressive. Look at that, it's already biting on the forceps. I'm just gonna try my best to get a good grip. And I'm getting nervous, gosh, hang on. All right, I gotta get it on the ground. Here we go. Unlike other ants, they don't really react to scents and pheromones, they react to sight. So anytime I try to grab it with the forceps, it sees that I'm coming. There we go. Okay, perfect hold. There it is. No animal has been requested for a sting test more than the Bulldog Ant in the history of Brave Wilderness. And now I can see why. Wow, I have never seen a more terrifying looking ant in my entire life. Let's start at the top. Look at the size of those mandibles. They are like serrated shears attached to these bulbous eyes, almost like a vice grip, just ready to snap and pinch on to anything it can touch. Look at the eyes of the ant. You can really see how much it reacts by using its sight. Look how it turns its head to the different ways that I position my finger around it. And then, of course, before we get to the stinger, I just have to say, look at the size of those legs. Because they are visually stimulated, they use their extremely long legs to extend quickly and flick themselves onto any would-be predator, earning them the name jumping jacks. And then of course, we can see the stinger flying already from the abdomen. Like other stinging insects, only the females can sting. This is actually a sentry or a soldier ant tasked with guarding the front of the nest. And you saw, with just the slightest disruption, a fleet of soldiers came flying out of the nest, ready for attack. They got all over my boots and nearly took a sting right away, but we saved the sting for this moment in the video. The sting of this ant is said to be one of the most painful experiences that you can get from any animal here on the continent of Australia. Some even argue in the world. The biggest difference between bullet and bulldog ant stings are the toxins they use. Bullet ants use a Panera toxin, which is slow building and can last for days, where bulldog ants use formic acid that causes instant pain. And when these ants swarm and cover people by the dozens, they have the ability to take down a fully grown adult. Holy cow, she's looking at me. Oh my gosh, look at that stinger go. I have a feeling this is going to hurt. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with one of the most terrifying ants on the planet, the Australian Bulldog Ant. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, oh God, you see the stinger going in? Yeah, that's a good sting. Yeah, it's really got its stinger in me. Look at it, stinger's in. All right, put it back in the jar. Oh, that hurts. All right. Oh my gosh. Woo! Oh my goodness. Yeah, that burns. That is a super intense sting. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Let me compose myself. Oh man, that was like instant fire underneath my skin. So much more like potent than the bullet ant. But I can tell you this, the bite was really nothing. Didn't really get a good grip on with those jaws, but it certainly got its stinger stuck in my arm, and it getting a little dry mouth. Hang on, my adrenaline's kicking in.
You okay, Mark?
Yeah, I'm all right, I think. All right. Geez, it's also hot out all of a sudden. All right, I think I'm good to continue on. All right. Oh, you bulldog. All right, see that stinger site? Got a little bit of a acute swelling, maybe some residual bumps, and it definitely burns. I would say the initial onset of the sting, it was like a lightning bolt, way more intense than a bullet ant, but I can tell you it's already starting to subside a bit. But wow, that is a rip shot of pain. Man. Really getting dry mouth, guys. The
Is your EpiPen in your backpack?
it is. I've got my EpiPen, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it yet, but gotta monitor make sure my tongue's not swelling up or anything. But holy cow, that sting is like a hammer. It's like somebody literally just took a hammer and went wham! Instantaneous pain. Not even a small delay. As soon as the stinger touched my skin, boom, it was on. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that one, because I don't think I want to go arm to stinger again with that intimidating little ant. Now, I am not out of the woods by any means. I'm gonna continue to monitor this sting over the next 2 days. I can tell you this, a single sting from a bulldog ant so far does not compete with the bullet ant. Unlike the bullet ant that just started to build and build and build, I'm starting to really get past that initial wave of pain. And now I'm just really more dealing with the after effects of adrenaline. Starting to get that like queasy stomach, cold sweat, and just simple nausea that I usually get after taking a sting. But a swarm of bulldog ants, I would estimate, could take even the most pain-tolerant person to their knees. All right, I think I'm gonna need some ice. Ugh. Sure enough, things got a lot worse. Just hours later, the redness and inflammation flared up and were joined by an intense itching that lasted for several days. Compared to other stings I've taken, this one was a sleeper that turned into a monster. Bulldog ant stings are known for their instant pain, so I was shocked when I was hit with these delayed reactions. While I did not experience the 24 hours of deep bone break pain that the bullet ant gave me, oh, that hurts. That is searing pain. This was far from an ordinary walk in the park. In fact, as of the editing of this video, my arm is still discolored and healing. If I were to have been swarmed and stung like the stick in the beginning of the video, it would have been a very bad situation. But now I know exactly why Australians go so far out of their way to avoid the jumping terror that is the Bulldog Ant. Yikes. I'm starting my search for Arizona's largest tarantula, and normally I do my best to not get bitten by giant hairy spiders, but today I'm going to intentionally take a bite from the desert blonde tarantula to see just how dangerous it really is. But before I can do that, I've got to catch one. Let's get searching. We're searching the Sonoran Desert of Arizona to find these tarantulas. This desert is teeming with all sorts of venomous creatures, and the best time to find them is after dark. The sun is finally set, headlamp is on. This headlamp is going to be the main tool that I use tonight to find one of these tarantulas. So I'm going to use my headlamp to sweep from side to side. There's not a lot that gives away other than just getting a light right on the tarantula itself. And then comes the tricky part, actually catching one. I also have a snake hook with me tonight, which could come in handy in catching a tarantula, but the main reason I have it is because this is prime rattlesnake territory. There's a lot more things crawling around out here than just big spiders. These spiders are out tonight hunting, but if they're near their hole, they'll quickly tuck back in. If I don't get close enough in time, it's pretty much game over and we'll have to find a new tarantula to catch. Whoa, we got a rattlesnake right there. You see it coiled up? Right there. Back up a little bit, guys. That is a western diamondback rattlesnake. Now, it is not a big one. This is a juvenile, but it is still capable of inflicting a very serious bite. You can use a snake hook to move snakes out of our way, just like this. Let the snake go, and we keep searching for spiders. Yes. It's a great sign that we're seeing all these venomous creatures out on the hunt. This desert is coming alive.
Put a scorpion right at your foot.
Look at this. Desert hairy scorpion right there. Let's see if I can grab it. Best way to do this is just to grab right at the top knuckle so it can't sting me. Let's see if we can get him to calm down. Stay buddy, stay buddy. Come on. There we go, that's good. Oh. Got him. Oh yeah, he's pinching me. All right, here we go. Let's see, show you what we got here. That is a pretty good size giant desert hairy scorpion, the largest species of scorpion in the United States. Luckily, I've got a good grip on its stinger there, but you can see there's even a little bit of venom starting to come out of the tip of it. If you don't grab these guys correctly, they will give you a pretty good pop. You can see why they call them the desert hairy. Look at all the hairs all over its body. It doesn't get much cooler than these large scorpions. All right, let's put them back and keep looking for those tarantulas. Scorpions and tarantulas are out here hunting the same food. I have a feeling we're closing in on our giant spider. Oh, I got a spider right there. Let's go. All right, I got my container. Let's see if we can get a catch. Okay, its hole's right here. I'm going to need to move in carefully. That is a big male. Oh no, I lost it. Hang on, maybe I can coax it back out. Oh no. Ah, lost it. Wait, hang on. It's still there. I got it back. I got it back. Snake hook is coming in clutch. Okay, coax it this direction. See it rearing its abdomen up. Okay, oh, just bit the snake hook. Here we go, guys. Got it. Got it. Here we go. Woo! Oh, buddy. That is a good one. Big male desert blonde tarantula. After a little bit of searching and a little bit of luck, then we brought the snake hook. We got ourselves our tarantula for the bite test. All right, let's hike it back in. Let's go, guys. Yes! As fate would have it, as we were heading back to start setting up for the bite test, we saw an even bigger spider. Oh, another tarantula. This one looks bigger. Oh yeah, okay. Let's try to catch this one too. All right, I don't know how close it is to its hole, but I'm gonna go in for the catch. Here we go. Holy cow, that is a huge freaking spider, guys. Wow. Cha-cha-cha. Ho, 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 ho! Ho, 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 ho. That is the specimen we have been after. That is a truly huge tarantula. I did not expect this, not one, but two huge desert blonde tarantulas. What we have here are a male and a female. And unfortunately for me, I think this video just turned from a tarantula bite test to a tarantula bite comparison. And I'm sure you are as curious as I am which of these two spiders has the more painful bite. It's time to find out. I am definitely nervous. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Two full-grown desert blonde tarantulas, and the table is now set for the ultimate spider bite test here in the Sonora Desert. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. What I'm about to do is a bad idea. Please do not attempt to recreate what you're about to see in this video. We have two tarantulas here in front of us. We have a male and the female, which we found unexpectedly. I think it is worth doing a bite test comparison to see which bite is more ferocious, because these spiders live very different lives from each other. Females actually live for a lot longer. We're talking 25 years for a female tarantula and only 5 to 10 years for a male. Females tend to bunker down. They stay a lot more localized to their nests, where the males are much more nomadic and predatory. I have a suspicion that we have a very different bite profile to these two spiders, and we are going to put that to the ultimate test. Let's take a closer look at Arizona's largest spider. Ladies first. In order to get some really good footage of the spider, I'm going to move it into this glass dome, and of course we don't want our spider to get away. All right, delicate little procedure here. Wow. There we go, perfect, perfect, perfect transfer. Oh my goodness. The fangs on these spiders are enormous. It's not just going to be the venom that I'm up against today. We're talking actual puncture wounds from fangs that large. In terms of what they're out here hunting and eating, pretty much anything that they can grapple onto. They are very strong spiders, and of course, possessing those large fangs, they could subdue a variety of prey. Even small lizards would be a good meal for a spider this size. The females tend to be a little bit bigger than the males. They are called a desert blonde tarantula predominantly because you can see those hairs and just how blonde they are in the middle. But that is a full-grown desert blonde tarantula. The best way to probably go about doing this is for me to grab it by its carapace, the top of the head of the spider, and I'm gonna try to pin it, grab it, and then I'll be able to show you the fangs and of course inflict the bite right here on my thumb. All right, brought a couple things with me today. I have a large pair of tweezers. Of course, we always bring first aid kit. The thing I need the most is the EpiPen. The worst outcome that can happen besides the pain that I'm about to experience is an allergic reaction. I think it's time to take the first of 2 bites from a tarantula. Okay, here we go. Now the females are known for being a little more docile than the males. Beyond, oh, easy girl, back. So you see how it's rearing its abdomen up right there? Beyond their capability to inflict bites, they also possess another defense mechanism, which is to flick the hairs off their abdomen. Females are rumored to be less aggressive, but this one looks ready to bite. And what I'm trying to do right now is to get a good hold on the carapace. This is the safest way for me to hold it for both me and the tarantula. There we go. Oh geez. Okay, that made my heart jump. Okay. The spider just wants to come right at me. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? That is the sound of spider fangs scraping the table. Okay. Look at the size of those fangs. And their fangs are retractable, just like a snake. And they are thick. We're talking some very large fangs. Those are going to pop holes in my skin for sure. Gotta get up a lot of nerve to do this. Okay, I've got a good grip on the spider. I'm gonna go for it. On 3. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to take a bite from Arizona's largest spider, the desert blonde tarantula. On 3. 1. I'm so nervous. 2, 3. Spider's fangs are on my skin. Ah! Yep, got me. You can see there's a little blood right there. Only popped one fang through. I think I gotta take a better bite, guys. It wasn't a good enough bite. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that time it got me. That time it got me good. Oh my God. That freaked me out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hang on, let me get the spider back. Get back in there, girl. Get back in there. Yeah, see right there. See that? Definitely burns. Oh my gosh, my adrenaline is like firing right now, guys. I feel like my soul just jumped out of my body. That is the most freaked out I've been around an animal. And it definitely burns. Oh man. My neck, okay? Yeah. My neck is like seized up. It's like I've got a cramp right here. I don't know if it's from the bite or if it's from just the nerves and the tension. Oh my gosh. I think it's nerves. I don't think it's from the venom. Definitely burns. It's definitely a burning sensation. I had to really try hard to get that spider to bite me. I want to point that out, that this spider did not want to bite, but that was not an aggression bite, for sure. Okay, I think I'm good enough to do another bite. I think it's time to bring in the second tarantula and see if the male can inflict a more aggressive bite wound, which I have a feeling that's gonna happen. Males are known to be more aggressive, and that's why I wanted to do a bite test here. Much darker in coloration than the female too. Not looking forward to this. And my hand still burns from that first bite. Okay, come here. Come here, you. Come here, you. Okay. Got it pinned. Oh my gosh. Way stronger. Way stronger. Way more aggressive. Look at it attacking. Got it. Oh boy, that was tough. Okay. There you have it. The male desert blonde tarantula. Here are the fangs. You can see just as terrifying as the female spider. You can see there's even venom on these. Okay, on 3. I'm about to take my second bite, this time from a male and much more aggressive desert blonde tarantula. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Just waiting for the bite to come. You see, he does not want to bite me.
It's not as angry as the female.
No. Big reaction is that these animals do not want to bite me. So while we've given this spider plenty of opportunity to inflict a bite, you can see it really has no intent to do me any harm. And frankly, it should be a lot more afraid of me than I am of it. So I hope after watching this video, we all have learned some important lessons about Arizona's largest spider. Even though these spiders are large and admittedly pretty creepy, we really have no reason to fear them. And honestly, their venom isn't that strong because spiders this large tend to use their strength to overtake their prey. They don't want to bite you, and even if they do, it's really not that bad. All right, let's let our spiders back off into the desert. And right now, we are in the outback of Western Australia, looking for a truly bizarre creature, and it's covered in razor-sharp spines. Let's just say catching this one, it's gonna hurt a little. This creature is just as shy as it is sharp. So first we have to track one down in this huge forest, which also happens to be home to another one of the rarest and most endangered animals on the planet, that we're also trying to find by the end of this video. But in order to catch this giant spike ball, we're going to need to look for clues. Oh yeah, right there, check that out. This is a termite nest. This would be a perfect feast for the creature that we're after today. That tells me we are on the right track. Let's keep searching. Our second clue is that these creatures love to hide near trees and stumps. So that's where we're spending the most time looking. The problem is, this forest is full of hiding places. This is like looking for a needle or a big pile of needles in a giant haystack. After hours of searching, we got lucky with the discovery of a final clue. That is a good sign right there. That's some poop from the creature we're after. You can see all the ants and termites in here. That means we're getting close. Oh, right there. That's an echidna. Look at that. Ho-ho! Yes! That is what we have been looking for all morning long. That is Australia's spikiest creature, the echidna. And it is, yeah, wow, that is sharp. Okay, the echidna from the top is a tank riddled with spikes and a super tough skin. But underneath the echidna is a soft belly. And I'm gonna try to work my hand underneath this animal so I can present it to you. This is probably going to be a challenge. Let's see if I get my hand underneath. Ready? Come here, buddy. It's okay. And he's just wriggling in there. Ah! Oh, he's spiky. Ah, he's getting me. Now, unlike a porcupine, their spines can't release, but they are super sharp nonetheless. Ow! Okay. Okay, he's really wedged in there, guys. This is gonna be tough. Ah! Yeah, I'm getting nailed. All right, I'm gonna have to use some gloves here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pry out this echidna. It is basically puffing up its body, using its spikes to wedge itself into this stump of the tree. All right, here we go. Luckily, I always carry a good pair of gloves with me on every adventure. There we go. I want to get to the underside of the echidna that is much softer, and that should allow me to hold it for the scene. But I'm gonna have to do this really carefully. I'm trying to like work under all of the different spines. There we go. Okay, now these spines are nothing more than modified hairs, so this isn't hurting the echidna at all. It's only hurting me. Ah! Oh, you're sharp. Ow! Poked right through the glove. Okay, I've got the underside. Got the underside, this is good. Okay, I think I feel his foot. Ow! Oh gosh, you were really, getting spined so bad. Okay, all right, I'm underneath him. I'm underneath him. This is good. The underbelly is so much easier to contend with. All right, right. Got him. Got him. I've got the echidna. We got one, guys. That is the echidna. Hello. All right, let's go this way. I see an opening over here. This will be perfect. So I think for the echidna to be most comfortable, it's going to mean a little discomfort for me. I'm going to attempt to take my gloves off to do this scene, not only in hopes that the echidna will be more comfortable and will show us that beak, but also as to show everyone why you should never pick up an echidna. Oh boy. Hello. This animal likes to hide by wedging against the nearest object. In this case, it's my foot. Gotta get to the soft belly part. Oh, you're so sharp. Come here. Every time I try to pick him up, his spikes break under the skin of my fingernails. Come on, Knuckles. Anybody who is a fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog video game definitely knows Knuckles the Echidna. And you are tough as nails, Knuckles. Yeah! Hey buddy, I'm gonna put you on my knee, if that's okay. It's going through my pants. Knuckles! Oh my gosh, it's so sharp. Okay, hi. You are the spikiest creature I have ever held with my bare hands. Oh my goodness. Okay. This animal from the top side is almost bulletproof from any predator. Not only does it have these sharp spines, but the top hide is very tough. Now, on the underside of the echidna, there's very soft underbelly along with its face. Hopefully, this echidna will get comfortable enough with me today to show its little face because it is super adorable. I'm trying to make it as comfortable as I can. as discomforting as it is for me, I want to show you that adorable little beak. The face of the echidna. Come on, buddy. I'm just gonna hold it here and try to be silent. Try to be silent! Oh my gosh. It's poking his nose at me. Come on. Come out, say hi. Oh, I think we're gonna have an appearance of the echidna beak. Hi. Hello. Come say hi. Oh, I can see the eyeball. Come say hi. No, that's a no. Door slammed. There we go. Give it a shot. Show us your cute little mug. Try to be quiet. Fight through the pain. Because I want you to see the face of the echidna. Come out, show us. Show us the face. Here comes. Can you see it?
Oh, there's a snout.
Guys, get the shot. Hi. How are you? I'm not doing good. I hope you're doing well, though. All right, guys. That is the beak of the echidna. And it has been very painful to get on camera. You little spike ball. Okay. So you can see the boogery nose there. These animals just recently were discovered to be able to regulate their body heat by blowing snot bubbles on their nose. Oh man. Okay. Just gotta work through the pain a little bit. So an echidna feasts on a diet made up completely of ants and termites. In fact, this animal also has some of the best hearing of any animal in Australia, and it's so sophisticated, they can actually hear the termites and the ants crawling underground, which is why we have to be so quiet. It's so sharp. It is so sharp. And now, compared to the hedgehog, an echidna weighs a lot more. I would say this echidna is in excess of 10 pounds. And just the weight alone, makes it super sharp, and its spines. Its spines are so sharp, guys. Okay. Now, get a shot of that foot. You'll notice that it's actually backwards. That is a very unusual trait. A lot of times when people are tracking echidnas, they will actually follow them the opposite direction because of the fact that those hind feet are flipped in the opposite direction. These animals have long claws on the back of their feet that are primed for digging, and the echidna has the ability to dig in. And a lot of times when you see these in the environment, they are literally just a ball of spikes. In fact, the only predator that really targets the echidna here in Australia is the feral invasive fox. They'll actually pee on the back of these animals and get them to flip over to expose that soft underbelly. From the top, the echidna is almost bulletproof. From underneath, they're a little teddy bear. And that's why it curls up into a ball, just like this. All right. Look at that face. Ow, you hurt me. You hurt me so. Okay, put him down. Definitely drew some blood. That is like wildlife acupuncture. I do not recommend it. It's time to put our echidna back where we found it. And honestly, I'm not sure who's happier about this, me or the echidna. My hands are on fire right now. Ouch. With the echidna safely back in its tree and my hands throbbing in pain, it's now time to track down one of the rarest animals on the planet, the numbat, one of the last living relatives of the now extinct Tasmanian tiger. Most of the remaining numbats in the world live in Tarantula National Park, but Tarantula is completely surrounded by farmland, trapping the numbats inside. This forest is really the last place we can find them. Spotting one is going to be really challenging because they blend into the landscape perfectly. Luckily, just like the echidna, numbats feed on termites, so we know we're on the right trail. We searched the forest really hard for over 6 hours without a sign of anything. It was a ghost town. But just when I was thinking about giving up for the day, I noticed something furry running through the bushes. Oh my gosh, that's him. Oh my God. There he is. Found one. I got him. I'm filming a numbat. He's looking right at me. I can't believe it. Wow. This is one of the last numbats on the planet. Numbats are a critically endangered species with less than 1,000 left in the wild. Places like Tarantula National Park in Australia are so important in protecting species like this from going extinct. And that's why it's important that this forest remains standing. This has to be one of the rarest animals I've ever filmed. What's he doing now? What's he doing? No. Is he trying to crawl inside? No way. Never gonna fit. Ha! Look at his little legs go. He can barely fit. Is he gonna make it? Oh! And there he goes. Gosh, that was awesome. Do you have any rare and endangered animals that live near you? Tell us about them and what ideas you have to save them. Who knows? Maybe we'll come out and film an adventure with you. All right, guys, right now we are in the outback of Western Australia looking for a creature you truly have to see to believe. The thorny devil is like a living sculpture, and some rumors say it is so sharp it can actually draw blood when you try to catch it. So if we're lucky enough, we're gonna put those rumors to the test. Let's get searching. They live exclusively on a diet of ants. Because of that need, if you find an ant mound or an ant line, there's a good chance there's a thorny devil somewhere in the vicinity, so we can then create a perimeter and start really scanning the area. These are masters of camouflage in this environment, so you really need to narrow it down to a sweet spot. So sharp. This is definitely thorny devil habitat. Everything out here is spiky. Especially this plant right here. This is like little razor blade leaves. Gonna keep an eye out for that one as we search for this creature. Here we go. This is a good indication. You see that line in the sand right there? That's an ant track. You can actually see a few tiny, tiny ants making their way back to their nest. But this is great, guys. We've got the sandy environment. We found the food. Now it's time to find the devil itself. What I'm looking for now are either foot tracks or the outline. It has a very distinct contrast with the rest of the environment, the outline of the tail and the horns on the front. And that's what I'm gonna be scanning for along the ridges and along the bush lines. Luckily, the thorny devil is not very fast. You can see why you have to be such a specialized animal to call this your home. Humans would not do very well living out here. Oh, I see one. Got one. We got a devil. Oh, yes, yes, we got one. Oh man, this is the coolest lizard on the planet, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so excited right now. I cannot believe we found a thorny devil. Look at how cool this little dragon is. This is one of the top targets out here. And unlike their cousins in America and Mexico, the horned lizards, these guys are actually super spiky. And you see it puffing up its body and pushing those spines out. That is one of its defense mechanisms. And I could tell you that if you were to grab onto this thorny devil without knowing that it was sharp, you would get a handful of spikes. Look at how cryptic the color patterning is. This animal is superior at camouflage in this environment. From the sand that's demonstrated in its arms to the foliage and the yellow leaf litter, this animal is perfectly designed for this habitat. And you can see that I'm not really doing much to keep the animal here with us. They're very docile and slow moving. In fact, they use their tail as a balance to step forward. They're almost like a chameleon, and they'll do very cautious steps. So look at that, just in a matter of minutes from presenting this animal, it's already changed its color to a much more vibrant yellow on the back. And that's probably because the sun is really starting to come out today. And like most lizards, it is ectothermic. The more heat it absorbs in its body, the more energy it's going to have. And it certainly has earned its name, the Thorny Devil. It is extraordinarily sharp and spiny. And it is covered from the tip of its tail all the way to its fingers and sharp spikes. Andrew, stick your finger out there. Tell me what that's like.
Wow, it's like prickers.
It's literally as sharp as the thorns on a rose. Just because it has these defense mechanisms doesn't mean that this lizard doesn't have any predators. There are animals out here that would make a meal out of a thorny devil, including species of hawks and, of course, the predatory goannas, the giant monitors that live in this country. So that's where this animal will rely on its superior camouflage to blend into its environment, to not give its location away. It also has another unique defense mechanism. You see those two horns right at the neck? That is a false head. And in a defense situation, the thorny devil will tuck in its head, offer up that false head to any would-be predator so it has a chance to escape if attacked. So let's see if we can actually get it to do that. Offering that false head up. That is a great display. All right, let's pick it back up. Gosh, those spikes are sharp. Ah! Oh, do you see him right there try to horn me? Ah! Okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I thought we had an agreement. We were gonna do this scene and I was gonna put you back, trying to show everybody how cool you are. There we go. If you ever wanna see one in person, you have to come here to one of its native ranges. Right now we are in Western Australia, but the range extends all the way to the center of the continent. But it lives in this specialized desert terrain, feeding on ants of a particular variety. Now, when I say feeding on ants, I should say feasting on ants. This little lizard has the ability to eat up to 3,000 ants a day. It will eat up to 1,000 ants in a single meal. And because of that, it actually is said that they are super intelligent. They have the ability to track through their environment to locate different colonies of ants, and they make sure that they don't overpredate any specific colony. They want to be able to come back to the food line to get another meal when they need it. These animals all have a very unique color pattern. You see underneath there? The patterning on the belly is like an individualized fingerprint for these lizards. So scientists will actually take photographs of the underside of a thorny devil so they can study the populations in any given area. And this one is super cool. It's very reticulated, almost like tiger stripes. Ah, so sharp. Ah, hang on. Ah, in addition to being super spiky, it has another very unique mechanism that has developed for life out here in the desert, and that's the ability to drink using its feet. Now, I've heard that if you actually pour water out and place a thorny devil in a small puddle, you can witness this happening. So we are going to try to demonstrate that for you right now. I've got a little water here. All right, let's see. Look at that. See all that moisture? Definitely have water coming up the back. I can see it on the neck. It's probably hydrating its eyes. And if we stay here long enough, it would actually be able to siphon some of that water into its mouth. But that is so cool. So those scales are adapted to be able to suck up moisture from the ground to keep this lizard hydrated. It's hard to believe, even holding it here in my hand, seeing it move, seeing it look at me, I'm almost in disbelief that this is even a real living thing. And for those of you who've been watching to see if the thorny devil is indeed sharp enough to draw blood, well, here you go. I mean, it is spiky. It's like holding the thorns of a rose. So I'm gonna do this delicately. Ready? Ah, you're spining me. It's wriggling around and it's so spiky, but I think the verdict is in. I do not think the thorny devil is sharp enough to draw blood, even though, he's spiky. Definitely does not feel good. when it tenses up those spines. Ow! From its defense mechanisms and the spines and the false head to even the way that it drinks. How cool was it to come across the real dragon of the outback, the Thorny Devil? I'm Mark Benz, be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, buddy, we're gonna put you back. So right now we are in Western Australia, and I just found a fiery lizard crossing the road, and it's absolutely infested with ticks. I'm gonna try my best to remove them and hopefully not get bit. Lizard, right here. You guys rolling? Whoa, check that out. Look at that. This is a shingleback. Wow, what an amazingly cool lizard this is. Let me see if I can pick it up. Careful. Oh, don't want to get bit. Don't want to get bit by this guy. Hang on. Look at that defensive display. Whoa, got a lunge. Oh, he is a feisty one. Oh, do you hear that? Hear that hiss? Got him. All right. Here, let's come on in close, guys. That is a really good look at their defensive display. I was hoping we would come across one of these lizards here in Western Australia, and there it is, our first reptile of the trip, the shingleback. The first thing you notice about this animal is that tongue sticking out, flaring its tongue out, saying, hey, I'm feisty and I will give you a tremendous bite if you get any closer. You can see the size of those mandibles, and it does have razor sharp teeth. Let's talk about its name. The shingleback gets its name because of its armored plating. Look at those scales. They are raised up and very thick, like an armored little tank. Here, Andrew, feel the back of that.
Whoa, he's super tough.
He's super tough. An extra tough lizard that utilizes its scales to ward off predators. Those armored scales would act like a plate, a barrier, to hopefully protect it long enough to scurry away. Now, some people would call this a shingleback, others would know it as a bobtail. It gets the name bobtail because of this little nubby tail on the back, which has a couple of purposes. The first purpose is it's a defense mechanism because it's a false head. So if there's a predator like a hawk or a snake that comes in and tries to eat this lizard, it might accidentally go for the wrong side because it looks a lot like its head. And that would be good for this lizard because it would give it a chance to get away. Now, another purpose for that bobtail is it's a fat store. Being out here in the desert, water is scarce and energy can be scarce. So certain times of the season, while this lizard can be hibernating, it relies on the fat stores in its tail to survive. Now, these lizards are a species of blue-tongued skink, and while their tongue isn't as bright as their cousin, the eastern blue tongue, I think their armored appearance makes them the coolest of these spunky Australian lizards. I want to be very clear, I do not want to take a bite from this lizard. It has very strong jaws because it is an omnivore. It feasts on a diet of snails and beetles, so it requires strong mandibles to crush those shells up. And I don't want you to crush my finger, right? Because we're gonna be friends, because I'm gonna help you out too before the end of this video. These lizards can be found while road cruising out here in the outback. They are often victims of car strikes because they like to stay on the road to get warmth. They are ectothermic, so we're gonna help you cross the road, buddy, don't worry. But we're also gonna help you out with something else. Now, one of the things that we can do is to remove some of its parasites. You see that right there? Let's get a tight shot. These reptiles are known to be covered in ticks. So anytime we encounter an animal with visible parasites like leeches, barnacles, or ticks, we always do our best to try to remove them if possible. In this case, removing these pesky bloodsuckers will cause no pain to the lizard and will certainly help its chances for survival in this harsh desert environment. This is a little bit risky right here. Getting my fingers super close to those jaws. Got him. Oh no. There's more. Ugh. Hang on, buddy. We'll help you out here. Guys, there are so many ticks on this lizard. That one was in its left ear, and the ticks do like to go for the softer part, so ears and in between the scales. I'm gonna try this one out. Here we go. Yeah. Gotcha. There we go. And there is another tick. See? That's what friends do. We remove ticks from each other's ears. You would do the same for me, wouldn't you? Yeah. Now this is not a tick that would burrow into a human, but they can actually get about 20 times this size by engorging themselves with the blood of these reptiles. I've actually found a tick on another shingleback before that was the size of a grape. Ugh, disgusting, right? Ugh, we don't want ticks. I think I got the main ticks off of you. Oh no, you got another one deep in your ear. Got him. Got him. They are all stuffed in his ear. How did you get so many ticks inside your ear? Oh gosh, guys, there are so many ticks in this lizard's ear. Guys, you're gonna wanna get a shot of this, it's gross. Ugh, look at that. Dude, where have you been? All right, no more ticks. I think I got them all out of that ear. I'm sure that feels a lot better, huh, buddy? Now you can hear again. All right, the sun's coming back out. He's getting a little feisty. Let's see if we can get another look at that iconic defense display, that tongue splaying out to warn any predator off. All right, I'm gonna try to put him down carefully, not take a bite. Ready? You guys got your shot? 1, 2, 3. See that? See that defense display? Oh, he is fast. Yeah. Hey, we're still friends, don't worry. Oh.
He looks angry.
Oh man, they are feisty when they want to be. Oh, not messing around, are you, buddy? Ah, too close. Gosh, he bit down hard. Oh, guys, look at that bite. We were trying to get the thumbnail, and I was using my hat to shade, and he's totally bit my hat. Oh my gosh, it is strong. I don't think it's gonna let go. You would not want to take a bite from this lizard. Holy smokes, it is just bulldog grip. Let's see if I can just put it down and it'll let go. Give me my hat. Who do you think you are, Jake Paul? Got my hat? Can I have my hat back, sir? Please? Are you kidding me? Thank you. Thank you for my hat back. Okay. Wow. You would not want to take a bite from this lizard. It is a bulldog. That is a bite that you would not soon forget. So cool. Out here in Western Australia and our first encounter with the shingleback. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's put this one across the road and continue on our way. See you later. Oh man, I am super excited. The creature that we're looking for tonight is probably one of the most bizarre animals that can be found in Australia, and we have featured some interesting things over the years on Brave Wilderness, but I can promise you, nothing compares to the turtle frog. We needed rain to find this frog, and the rains have come. You are not going to miss this. Finding a turtle frog is almost impossible because you have to be in the small remote desert they live in Western Australia while it's raining. And this only happens a few times a year. Yes! Yes! Next to no footage exists of this species. If we find one, this will be the very first high quality footage ever seen. Oh, stop the car, I see something on the road. First animal of the night, a really cool lizard. Oh my gosh, it's got a huge tick on him though. I'm gonna try to pull this off. Look at that, got a tick.
Oh my gosh.
You see that? That is a big tick. And that is a really cool lizard. Very good sign for our search tonight. We're not exactly looking for shinglebacks, but this one was crossing the road, so we wanted to move him out of the way. You're welcome. All right, let's let you go off the road so you can continue on your way, and we'll continue on ours. This rain has the animals on the move. Like all amphibians, turtle frogs need moisture to survive and to breed. That is why they come up to the surface after it rains. Without this rain, the frogs will remain buried beneath the ground and impossible to find. To make matters worse, turtle frogs only come to the surface at night. We're going to have to look and listen closely to even have a small chance at spotting one. All my life, I've been a frog nerd. And I've been able to track down iconic species like the red-eyed tree frogs and poison dart frogs of Central America. And I've also gotten hands-on with all different kinds of toads, from giants, oh, wow, to the most colorful. Got it. Like this extremely rare harlequin toad. However, the turtle frog has always been my grail animal, and tonight is the first time in my career I'll have a shot at catching one. But if we're going to do that, I'll have to rely on all my years of experience and animal catching tricks to track one down. Perfect habitat for the turtle frog. See that right there? That sand substrate. Turtle frog, it burrows down up to 3 feet below the surface, so it really needs this sand to be able to do that. Okay, let's keep looking. We're definitely on the trail now. It's really a miracle in itself that we got prime turtle frog conditions tonight. Like seriously, all week long, the forecast called for clear skies and no rain. But tonight, out of nowhere, the rain rolled in, and I have to say, it's making this adventure feel like destiny. Oh, guys, I got something. All right, so what you're looking at there is a spiny tail gecko, named for the spines on the tail, which are actually just modified scales, and they're soft, they're not sharp at all. Now these geckos have a pretty unique defense mechanism where they're able to actually secrete a chemical mixture from their tails. They like whip it at the predators trying to eat them, and it doesn't taste very good. The eyes of a gecko are probably some of the coolest eyes on the planet. They actually don't have eyelids, so they have to lick their eyeballs to keep them moist. Can you imagine that, licking your own eyeball? Sure glad we have eyelids. Love these geckos. Okay, we're gonna let this gecko go back in the bush and keep looking. Well, that's a good sign. We're continuing to see new creatures. Guys, I got one. Look at this frog. Holy cow, that is cool. Wow. We found our first amphibian of the night. It's not the frog we're after, but that is a great sign. That means that we're getting enough rain for the amphibians out here to come out of the soil. This is the western spotted frog, and just like turtle frogs, they only come out just after a rainstorm. This is not the frog we're after, but it's a good start. Let's let this one go. Keep searching. Perfect conditions. We just gotta keep looking. Got the rain, we're in the right spot. I've already seen one species of frog. This is like the sweet spot. This is what we need. Got everything except the turtle frog itself. After hours of searching, we weren't seeing any signs of turtle frogs. Luckily, my experience has taught me sometimes the best way to find the frog you're looking for is with your ears. Did you guys hear that? Shh, shh, shh. I think I heard one. Yep. Did you guys hear that? One more. Let's see if we can hear it one more time. If we hear it again, we'll try to find it. I think that's one, guys. Let's try to canvas this area in front of us here. Stop calling. We must be right next to him. Got him. Got a turtle frog. Holy mother. Oh my God. Look, there he is. There it is. I cannot believe we found the frog. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Hello. Come here, buddy. Oh my gosh. We have come so far to find this species. There is the turtle frog. Yeah, baby! Woo! What are the freaking odds? Guys. Oh my gosh! I cannot believe we got one. Oh. Hello. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? This is one of the coolest creatures I have ever laid my eyes on. Let's just appreciate this super unique creature. What you're looking at is some of the first HD footage ever recorded of a turtle frog. I mean, this species is so rare, there's very little information to find about them. But here's what we do know about this bizarre little frog. Let's start with the name, turtle frog. Named for its appearance, the most unusual frog I have ever seen, but look at its head. That dome-shaped head with the black beady little eyes, and then the circular body looks like a turtle without a shell. This is one of the most unique looking frogs you will ever see. It looks like something out of Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt's relative. Some people say it looks like a little wad of chewing gum, and it certainly looked like that when we first saw it. I have wanted to film, I have wanted to find one of these frogs for my entire career. This is a big, big moment for me. If you can't sense my excitement after this, this is about as big as it gets for a frog nerd like me. Hi, buddy. Look at that pudge. Are you kidding me? Has to be one of the most unique looking frogs, but probably the cutest frogs as well. Super pudgy, super soft. Feels like a water balloon almost, and when it's walking across my hand, you can really tell how much liquid is in the frog. It's like a deflated water balloon, but it is a very delicate frog, but it's somewhat stout. It's got a lot of power in those legs. I can feel it when it's crawling across my hand. It uses its stocky arms and legs to burrow into the soil. It really is incredible how something so small and soft can dig over 3 feet underground. And actually here, let me get out. I'm gonna take my pack off and get out a little bit of water because I don't want to dry out the frog. One of the things you always want to make sure you do when handling any amphibian is make sure you don't dry them out, and this water will help. Oh, hey, came to life there. Hey buddy, it's all right. Oh my goodness. Endemic to Western Australia. It can only be found here, but that's not where the oddities end. In fact, the oddities begin with this species when it's born. It's one of the few species of frogs on the planet that does not have a tadpole stage. This frog begins its life with a full set of hands and legs. What's also unique about this species is that they have one of the largest eggs of all frogs in Australia. In fact, 5 centimeters is as big as they grow, and this frog is approaching maximum length. Now, there's a certain period of year where at the tail end of it that it's breeding and it will actually call. That's how we were able to find this frog. And it was definitely a team effort. We've got Max with us here from Australia Wildlife Encounters. Max and I were slowly honing in on this little frog, and then I crouched down and there it was. Just like you saw it right there underneath the bush, looking right back at us with those beady little eyes. And it was so unlikely for us to find this frog, guys. The rains were not supposed to come, and sure enough, they appeared today, almost like out of thin air. A front came in, provided enough moisture for us to have a chance to put this frog in front of the cameras, and I am so excited you guys get to see it. Now, we think this is a male because of the way it was calling, and when they're mating, they have an extended honeymoon. Once a turtle frog locates its mate, they will both burrow together for months before actually breeding and depositing their eggs. This is a very unique species, guys. There's not a ton of information and very few studies of this frog. So when it comes to filming animal oddities, it doesn't really get any better than this. And I am just over the moon right now that we were able to come out here, our first time in Western Australia, our first time in turtle frog territory, against the odds, and sure enough, we were able to find one. Oh man, I am so excited we got to show you guys the turtle frog. What a cool frog this is! Guys, are you kidding me? Tell me in the comments section if you've seen a cooler frog than the turtle frog. I challenge anyone out there to name a more unique species of amphibian because I do not know of one. All right, let's go put this frog back and head in for the night. Man, that was awesome. Right now, we are in one of our favorite locations in all of North America, the Sonoran Desert. And as you can tell, nighttime has already descended upon us, which is the perfect time to find all kinds of cool creatures. So if you guys are ready, let's turn our flashlights on and hit the trails to see what we can find.
Under the heat of the midday sun, spiny cacti and scattered shrubs appear to be the only life forms persistent enough to thrive amongst this dusty landscape. But don't let its appearance fool you. The Sonoran Desert is indeed rich with life, and also happens to be one of our favorite locations to explore for animals. Over the years, we have stumbled across so many unique species that, as a production team, we knew this would be the perfect place to test out the new camera gear for our upcoming television series on Animal Planet. Because after all, what better way to test out a new camera than to go film with some amazing creatures? So Mario and I set off for another desert expedition. The hot temperatures of the Sonoran Desert often feel inhospitable, not only to us, but also to the many animals that call this region home. It's not exactly impossible to locate creatures during the day, but it makes it much more difficult when they're hiding from the scorching sun. And on top of that, many species found in this area are actually nocturnal hunters. So we waited for the sun to go down and the air to cool, in hopes of spotting some creepy crawlies on the prowl for their next meal.
Mario, you seen anything?
Not yet. I've seen a few signs of movement. Maybe some rodents.
Yeah, I saw a rabbit earlier, but it was too fast for the cameras. You know, I'm really surprised we're not seeing anything up in the trees. I figured we'd see some lizards sleeping by now. Might be a little too early still. Oh, hang on. You see that? There's something crawling just behind that tree. Let's go check it out. Oh, it's a tarantula. Oh man, look, that is a good size desert blonde tarantula if I've ever seen one. I think there's only one way to present this tarantula, Mario. I think I'm gonna have to pick it up. And to be honest, I've held tarantulas before, but not a wild one. You think I'm gonna be okay to pick this one up?
Of course, man. You see Coyote do it all.
I know, but it's a lot easier to get behind the camera and watch him do it. It's another thing to do it yourself. But yeah, I guess there's only one way to do the scene properly, and that's to get hands-on. Here we go. All right, nice and easy. Oh, you see that? It's actually starting to flick hairs, which means it's a little agitated, so I'm gonna give it a second. When tarantulas become agitated, they can actually flick some of the hairs off their abdomen into the air to deter a would-be predator, and those hairs can actually be very irritating to your nose and your eyes, so you certainly don't want to get any of that around your face. But also, I really don't want to agitate her too much either, so let's give her a second to calm down and I'll try again. All right, here we go. Try to coax her this time with a snake hook, see if that helps. I do think it's a female based on the body mass. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Picking up a wild tarantula, not the easiest thing to do. It's definitely a lot of willpower involved. All right, let's try this one more time. I'm gonna face the barrel cactus too. There we go. All right. Oh, wow, check that out. Oh man, it feels so cool. There are actually little hooks on the bottom of the legs, and I can feel them grasp onto my skin as she's walking over my hands. I'm gonna try to talk a little more gently now because I don't want to scare her. That is the desert blonde tarantula. And like all arachnids, they have 8 legs, and most tarantulas are covered in hair, as is this one. The reason we found this spider out tonight is likely because it was on the prowl looking for prey. These spiders are known to eat all kinds of insects and things out here crawling around at night. But if it's unfortunate enough, even a small lizard could become victim to a spider of this size. So one gruesome but interesting fact about these tarantulas is how they digest their food. They actually inject an enzyme into their prey that liquefies the insides so they can drink it up, just like a milkshake. Imagine that, like a big protein shake every time you have a meal. Kind of gross if you think about it. Luckily for me, tarantulas have very mild venom, at least in most places around the world. So if you are bitten, which hopefully I'm not, it's usually nothing more painful than a bee sting. That being said, any bite from any animal needs to be taken seriously. So I'm gonna try not to get bitten. Wow, I will say, I was pretty nervous picking up this spider for obvious reasons. I mean, look how big she is. But, just like every time I've ever held a tarantula, once you know the spider's not gonna bite you, it's actually a pretty cool experience. All right, well, I think we've held on to this girl long enough. Let's let her back off in the night to hunt and see what else we can find. Here you go, girl. Woo! Well, that was awesome. My very first time ever holding a wild tarantula. I say we grab our things, head back out there, and see if we can find something to top that.
Tarantulas are always a welcome surprise to us, because when they're on the move, there's a good chance other creatures are too.
Now, these kind of piles are great spots to look. All kinds of creatures. Oh my gosh, Mario, it's a vinegaroon. All right, hang on. Let's see if I can grab it without getting sprayed. Oh, don't spray me. Oh, I got it. Ah, it sprayed me. I felt it. Oh no. Oh, I guess it'll be a good time to talk about its name. Guys, we found a vinegaroon. Check that out. Well, the good news is we got hands on the vinegaroon. The bad news is the vinegaroon got me. I totally just got sprayed with an acetic acid mixture that smells just like vinegar. In fact, I'm gonna point the business and not toward my face. Now, these are arachnids. They are related to scorpions, but in fact, they are not scorpions at all. They merely resemble their cousins because of their claws in the front and their elongated abdomens. But outside of that, these vinegaroons are vastly different than the scorpions we featured on the channel. You wanna see something neat? Check this out. They actually can cling on and be completely inverted. In fact, the vinegaroon, or whip scorpion as they're also called, come in two varieties, both a tail whip scorpion and a tailless whip scorpion. If you guys remember back to that episode where we filmed the water anoles, Coyote actually put one of the tailless varieties on his face. I don't think I'm gonna be putting this whip scorpion on my face tonight, just given the fact that it just sprayed me with its vinegar mixture. Now you may be asking yourself, what does a vinegaroon eat? Well, they eat all kinds of different insects and other arachnids. They've been known to eat things like moths and gnats and spiders.
Do they eat salt and vinegar chips?
They don't eat salt and vinegar chips. In fact, I don't know if I'll be eating salt and vinegar chips again anytime soon, because it's gonna remind me back to the time I got sprayed by the vinegaroon out here in the Sonoran Desert. But I will say, what a treat coming across one of the coolest creepy crawlies to call the Sonoran Desert home. I'm Mark Vins, be brave, stay wild. We'll see ya on the next adventure. Let's put this vinegaroon back. Hopefully I don't get sprayed again. Easy, easy. Woo! Time to go wash our hands.
Now, some of you may have been wondering, Mark, where's Coyote? That's a great question. Not every trip we take includes the full team. Remember that time I went location scouting in Iceland? Man, that was one epic adventure, and we're still working on getting the whole team back there too. So stay tuned, guys. There are even more wild adventures to come.
This animal has a trait that makes it nearly immortal. Time to get hands-on with a zombie toad. There it is. All right, here we are again in the Sonoran Desert at night, but this time it's different. We partnered up with PetSmart, who's sponsoring this video, to find a creature that has eluded us all these years. And get this animal has a trait that makes it nearly immortal. Oh man, I'm excited. All right, headlamps on, let's get searching. So in order to find this extremely elusive animal, which only comes out once a year, we've got to locate some water, which is not exactly the easiest thing to do here in the desert. So we're gonna have to hike probably a couple miles. But the good news is, while we're hiking, this is monsoon season. There's a good chance we're gonna find some other things crawling around out here. And of course, if we see stuff, we're gonna stop and take a look. I mean, this is Brave Wilderness after all. Oh, I think I see something right there. Got a snake right here, look at that. That's a nice one too. Okay, I'm gonna get out the snake hook. Gotta be super careful. This is a venomous snake. It's a species of rattlesnake, but is a very specialized version. Not only do they have a very distinct feature, if you look at the front of that snake's head, you see those horns? It's actually a specialized scale. The raised scales over their eyes are likely an evolutionary adaptation that may help the snake shade its eyes from the sun or possibly prevent sand from drifting over them as they lay buried underneath the sand to ambush prey. But perhaps the most interesting trait, let's see if we can get it to do this, is how they move. There we go, see that move? Look at that. You see that sideways locomotion? That is so cool. Well, I think we can all see how this little snake got its infamous name, the Sidewinder. It's not the creature we're after, but it's certainly a good start to the night. All right, let's grab our stuff and keep going. All right, so here we go. This is a very nice wash. And for those of you who have seen our adventures out in the Sonoran Desert previous to this video, you'll remember that this is like the super highway for creatures at night. So what I want to do right now is I actually want to get a different tool. This, of course, would be a blacklight. And this is the perfect instrument to find those stingy arachnids, the scorpions out here in the desert. And I think if we search for probably just a few minutes, we'll come across one. Oh, got one right there. You see it? Oh yeah, that's a desert hairy. Oh, it's a big one too, look at that. Oh, check that out. Just gotta commit. Ah, oh yeah. Oh, they do have a pretty decent pinch, I will say. Check that out. Desert hairy scorpion, the largest scorpion out here in the Sonoran Desert. But what's interesting is, although it is the largest, it has probably the weakest venom. So if you're stung by a desert hairy scorpion, for most people, it's nothing more than a bee sting. However, that being said, some people are allergic, so you definitely do not want to be stung by any scorpion if you can help it. Now, I did take a couple of good pinches. A scorpion of this size will give you a pretty solid pinch, so you definitely don't want to pick one up if you see it out here in the desert. I'm only doing it so I can get it close to the cameras and you guys can see just how illuminated they become under a black light. Is that showing up on camera?
Yeah, that looks cool.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's fire up the lights, let this scorpion go, and keep heading toward the water. I think you can tell by all these bugs, we're starting to get close. Okay, this is perfect. There was once water here, which means, oh yeah, we have found the water, folks. 20 yards ahead lives the creature that we've been searching for. Let's go. Oh, I think I got one. Oh yeah. Okay, gonna leave my pack here, and I'm heading in. Time to get hands-on with a zombie toad. Haha! Got him.
Nice catch.
Oh yeah, that is perfect. That's definitely the toad we've been after. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The spade-foot toad, AKA the zombie toad. This creature actually lives underground. they use this specialized appendage. See that little black speck? That is actually why it gets the name spadefoot, because that little black speck is actually very rigid. It's made out of keratin, the same material as my fingernail, and it uses this spade to dig itself back into the soil for another year of hibernation. Now, when it does hibernate, it almost completely dehydrates itself and slows down all of its life processes, remaining in a state of limbo for months and months and months.
While hiding underground in suspended animation, the spadefoot toad is a solitary creature. But when the rainfall finally returns during the monsoon season, the toad will rehydrate itself and emerge from the ground to breed and lay eggs in shallow pools of water. This is the primary reason they return to life. But they will return to the ground shortly thereafter for another year as a nearly lifeless organism.
Now, if you take a closer look, you'll see there's another few interesting traits about this species of toad. It lacks the traditional parotoid glands right behind the eyes that you'll see on the Colorado River toad. Also, it has vertical pupils. I don't know if you can get a tight shot in there at the eye, almost like a cat's eye. And you can see the skin, not quite as bumpy. Got him. Whew. Having to play catch tonight with this toad. You can see the skin is not quite as bumpy as your ordinary toad. And in fact, I would say the spadefoot toad resembles more of a frog than a species of toad. But I think this is so cool to finally get to feature this nearly immortal creature that can dig down into the desert sands and live its whole year without water, only to resurrect itself when the rains return. Wow. Right now, we are in the Snow Canyon State Park in southern Utah. Beautiful sandstone formations all around us, but that's not what I'm here to show you today. Today, I'm taking you on an adventure with me into a volcano. Let's go. It's hot out here, Corey. Have you ever been inside a volcano before?
I have not.
Okay, neither have I. This is gonna be a first for the brave crew. The sand that's all around us right now is how this entire valley started. That's why the rock formations are here. This was once called the ancient desert sand sea. But over millions of years, the sand hardened into the rock and the sandstone that we see here before us, with the wind and the water shaping all of the sweeping textures that make it so iconic. Now, this volcano erupted 27,000 years ago, so we're gonna see a lot of stuff like this. Basalt blown out of the volcano and landed miles away. Looks like we got a little bit further to go before we get to the lava field, but man, I'm excited. This is an Adventures with Me for the books.
Dude, straight ahead.
It's gotta be right up here. Let's go. Oh man, this is cool. Oh, that's the lava tube. You can see it's coming up from the earth right there. And a lava tube is pretty much a volcano's drainage pipe. When magma rises to the surface, there's a cap, and that cap pressurizes the magma. It spreads that magma out underneath the ground, forming lava tubes just like this. It is very precarious in here. You can see that the walls are all fractured already. This makes me a little bit nervous. Usually when your gut gives you that feeling like maybe you shouldn't go too much further, that's a good warning to heed. But oh my gosh, this even goes further. If you're brave enough, I guess you could explore through these lava tubes, but I'm not sure it's a very good idea. I think that's enough lava tube adventuring for me today. I'm gonna get back on the surface. Not a cloud in sight today. It is a bluebird sky, which means that the sun is gonna punish us. Every step is well earned out here. All right, there it is. There's our path through. This is how we're gonna get up and over this range of sandstone. If you guys are ready, we got one last heave before we see the volcano. We're gonna get scraped up. This stuff is sharp. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is it's opening up a lot. Bad news is it's getting really steep. And this is what we call scrambling. It's not walking, it's not rock climbing, it's scrambling. Gotta use your hands, gotta use your feet, gotta wedge your body in between places for more support, and it happens to be a lot of fun. As tiring as it is, I'm really enjoying this. Man, I tell you what, if I was a mountain lion, that's what I would be calling home right there. Don't look down now. There it is. This is so cool. That's the volcano. Surrounded by white sandstone. All right, I think this is where we start making our ascent. I can see the grades getting pretty steep. Probably why they say this trail is for advanced hikers only. Now, volcanoes like this one are known as cinder cone volcanoes. The reason they are called that is because not only are they in the shape of a cone, but when the lava explodes, it does so in very fine fragments like this right here. These are cinders and clinkers. The clinkers have a funny name for a reason, and actually when they roll down hills, they clink. That is why it's called a clinker. Pretty cool, huh? Oh man. Corey, how we doing back there? Okay, legs are on fire. We've come a long way, look how far. Down from that valley, over that mountain, and then right here to where we're standing. Certainly a full day of adventuring. And we're about to see what's waiting on the other side. All right, there it goes. Whoa, there it is. We made it. That's the crater. How cool was this, Corey? One of my favorite expeditions we've done yet. We've taken you on all these wildlife adventures over the years, and we thought it was time to show you what else was out there. So many places on this planet to explore, and we're gonna take you with us every step of the way. But, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, we have a few more steps left. Let's go down in the crater. Wow, not even to the bottom, and it is already an incredible view. Very slippery, very hazardous. Definitely bring your hiking boots if you go on one of these adventures. Just like that. Yes! I just gotta take a moment and just soak this in. Here we are. We made it to the finale of today's adventure inside the Cinder Cone volcano here at Snow Canyon State Park. And now it's time to answer the burning question. I'm sure you're all wondering, Mark, are you and Corey in any danger standing inside the crater of this volcano? No, we're not. And the reason for that is because this volcano is extinct, no longer posing a threat for an eruption. Now, that's not true with all volcanoes. So if you're gonna go on an adventure like this somewhere else in the world, other than this park, be sure to check out if it's an active volcano or not, and be sure to check with the park services first, because some volcanoes are very, very, very dangerous, and we hate for anyone at home to go on an adventure that got themselves hurt. But this adventure was absolutely epic, if I don't mind saying so myself. We made it to the center of a volcano for the very first time on Brave Wilderness, and I hope you guys enjoy this expedition. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you guys on the next adventure.
If you enjoyed that episode, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our upcoming adventures.